Humber is celebrating Earth Week.
And Doug Ford says he's entering provincial politics. Humber News starts now.
Hello, it's Wednesday, April 3rd. Welcome to Humber News, coming to you from the Broadcast Center here at the North Campus. I'm Jesse Baines. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Sasha Lindsay. Ahead in our show, we have all your news and sports highlights, as well as your 5-day weather forecast. But first, our top story.
The RCMP says it has nabbed dangerous pathogens headed out of the country. 2 former Canadian Food Inspection Agency researchers have been charged with breach of trust by a public officer. Dr. Klaus Nielsen was intercepted as he was heading to Ottawa Airport with 17 vials of pathogens containing live Brucella bacteria in October. Brucella can infect livestock and humans. A Canada-wide warrant has been issued for Wei Ling Yu for her role in the attempted smuggling.
Ontario's Fire Marshal said this morning that detection and notification delays were to blame for the death of 4 members of a Newmarket family on Good Friday. Officials said the exact cause of the fire has yet to be determined, but the main floor of the house was lacking a smoke detector. He also said the wiring of the home's smoke alarm system was compromised by the fire. Some say a lack of full-time firefighters may have contributed to the deaths. East Gwillimbury Fire Chief Ken Beckett said local full-time staff could have cut their response time in half. Central York Fire Services Chief Ian Ling said in a Toronto Star report that his department has an agreement with East Gwillimbury to provide assistance, but full-time firefighters in Newmarket never received the call for help.
A 28-year-old man was shot in the city's East End last night, and police are searching for suspects. Police say the shooting happened just before midnight at a residence in the Kennedy Road and St. Clair Avenue area. The victim was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. One suspect is described as a black male in his early 20s, wearing a black winter hat with flaps, black denim pants, and a white shirt or a turtleneck. Descriptions for the other subjects have not been released.
The Ontario government announced today they will be adding 25 new double-decker GO buses. This comes just a day after Metrolinx announced a short list of transit funding tools. Humber reporter Julia Frazina has the story.
The new buses will carry 81 passengers in total. This is up from its current 55 capacity. The Minister of Transportation, Glenn Murray, says by investing in transportation, the government will help reduce congestion, strengthen the economy, and create jobs.
We see this as fundamental to our economic competitiveness and to our quality of life.
He says the buses are not only good for the environment, but they are also cost-effective.
This basically runs almost twice as many people per bus as a single floor bus with only one driver and uses less fuel. These are very high fuel efficient vehicles, so they're environmentally friendly, and the costs of operating them per ride per seat are much lower.
President of GO Transit Gary McNeil says these buses are more accessible for people and that we will be seeing more of them in the future.
Primarily because of the accessibility feature with the ramp and the kneeling feature. It's easier for people with accessibility needs to get on, and that includes people with strollers and other purposes. So it's not just for accessibility, it's for other customers as well.
Vice President Director of GO Operations Paul Finnergy says people seem to really enjoy riding the new buses.
People can't wait to get upstairs, sit at the front, because there's no driver at the front of the bus. All they see is glass. So it really helps the experience of riding on a bus.
The first bus will go into service tomorrow and will operate on GO's 407 route. The remaining buses are scheduled for service at the end of May. Julia Frazina, Humber News.
Councillor Doug Ford says he will run for the provincial Conservatives if Premier Kathleen Wynne calls an election this spring. This morning during a radio interview, Ford said that he was calling the Premier out, saying the Conservatives would defeat her in the race. The councillor who represents Etobicoke North did not say which riding he would run in.
Ontario Minister of Health and Long-Term Care and Deputy Premier Deb Matthews was in Etobicoke today making an announcement about expanding and improving healthcare access for Rexdale families. Matthews announced the provincial government will invest in improving infrastructure of 2 satellite locations of the Rexdale Community Health Centre. The investments are meant to help the Rexdale Community Health Centre continue providing healthcare, health services, and promotions to Etobicoke residents.
It's day 3 of Humber Earth Week. According to Humber's sustainability website, today was supposed to be a day in which water bottles weren't sold on campus and students were encouraged to bring their own reusable bottles. However, bottled water was actually being sold today after all. Humber Sustainability Manager Lindsay Walker told Humber News in an email that it was too complicated to eliminate water bottles on the entire campus, so they were hoping people would decide for themselves to skip buying bottled water today. And after speaking to Humber News, Walker changed the information on the sustainability website.
When we come back, we'll have more news from around the world and the country. Andrew Mulletramp will have your sports news, and Amber Doherty will have your 5-day weather forecast.
We're well into spring, but still seeing freezing temperatures. Things will warm up later this week, though. I'll tell you all about it after the break.